Okay, so let's get started with our session today. Just a minute. Okay, so the first thing what we need to do is, we need to make sure the services are up and running. So when you log into your URL, go to the administrator service and make sure the runtime environments, your local secure agent is up and running before you start your work. So go to the administrator service first, and then go to runtime environments. So as I discussed earlier, please open this service in your Chrome incognito mode so that it would be faster compared to the local Chrome. Go to runtime environments and ensure your services are up and running. So I can see that my services are up and running. So just click on this local secure agent, and you should be able to see all these components, all these services like mass ingestion, OI data collector, common integration components, data integration servers. They should be enabled and up and running. So also keep your other things open, like data integration service and monitor. So you just right click on it and open a new tab. So let's go to data integration service, and we'll discuss about joiner transformation, and we'll also discuss about target properties. Okay, so we'll discuss about the joiner transformation and target properties. Well, 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So I think we discussed about a joiner example yesterday. We discussed about one joiner transformation, but we'll continue with our discussion, and we'll look at some more properties. So what is a joiner transformation doing? Joiner transformation does it's an active and connected transformation, and based on a join condition, we get different types of rows where you can see that the rows with matching join conditions like normal join, master outer join, detail outer join, full outer join. So we had a mapping. We created a mapping yesterday, which is items and promotions. So we were joining two tables called items and promotions, and we ran a simple condition called a normal join condition. Now we can just modify it to master outer join. So what is master outer join doing? Master outer join will take all your detail rows, right? Includes all the rows from your detail pipeline and only the matching rows from master pipeline. So which is a detail one, which is a master one? This is our, we just click on the plus icon here. You get detail and master. So the items table is the detail one, and items and promotions is a master table. So is this clear to everyone? Like how did we get this master and detail? Is that clear? You want me to explain it to you one more time? How did I get this? Just go to joiner transformation, just click on the plus symbol here, and you get master and detail on the top. So you just have to drag and drop it here. Okay, you need to map it appropriately with a master and detail pipeline, and you just click on the grid here, like arrange all. It comes in a proper format. Okay, so whatever changes that you do, right? For example, you have data in your target. You want to run it one more time. Go to target, and you just click on truncate target, maximize this, truncate target, and save it, so that you can run it for the second join condition, which is your master outer. Now I can directly run my mapping configuration task, which I created. What was the mapping configuration task that I created? This was the one, right? MCT joiner example. So I don't have to do any changes here because automatically the mapping changes, whatever I've done, they get reflected in the mapping configuration task. I also had a mapping, a different flow for this. Okay, I also had a different flow wherein I created one more pipeline, to load the data as per the flow run order. I had a flow run order which we discussed yesterday, and we decided which flow that you want to run. For example, I want to run this one first. I just have to bring it up. Click on move up so that this flow gets executed first, and then the second flow will start. Okay, you have to save your mapping to ensure your flow is reflecting. Mapping is saved, and you'll see that there is an image, right? The mapping image. Just click on this cross again. Go and open your mapping configuration task one more time. You'll see a mapping image saying this is changed now, because it says this has to run first and the second one this has to run. Okay, so let me run this. Click on run. Now go to my jobs. Okay, uh, and you can see that this is in the running status. You just have to refresh this. Keep refreshing this, and from the starting state, it will go to your queued status, and from queued, it will go to your running status. Just keep refreshing, and you also get a prompt here saying updates available, and you can see the same thing in your monitor also with the running jobs. Okay, in the monitor, you can see that this is running. So if you want to see the statistics, just click on that instance name. You would get the runtime statistics of the job, the task name, instance ID, task type, started by, start time, end time, duration. You see there is a star mark, which means that the job is still in progress. So you get a star mark here with the duration and end time. So if you just click on refresh, it may be finished. Yeah, now it is finished. So you got a timestamp here with the start time, end time, and the duration with the number of rows that are loaded to your target table. So all of you understood this? This is a master router join. Just run this target table, right? Uh, just run this target table. Now we got around 31 rows. So that is about master outer join. Now the same thing again, just go back to the same mapping, and you want to just change the join condition to detail outer, and just click on simple, click on save, and you can run the mapping task one more time. Go to my jobs or to the monitor screen. You'll see that one more instance has started. Now, how do you know which instance? For every instance, you get an ID here. Like, MCD M items promotions joiner example -3. Now you get a -4, which means that this is a fourth instance of this mapping task, which is running. Is this clear to everyone? Understood? All of you understood this?
Yeah, sure.
Any questions from anyone on this? Okay, fine. So we got 26 rows loaded now. So we can just verify this target table again. Now in this condition, we only have 15 rows loaded to the target table. And the last condition was just go back to the mapping again. The last condition was full outer, and just save this. I mean, I'm just giving you an example for the different joint conditions that you can go for this scenario for a mapping for a joint transformation. Now you can see that the instance number 5 is started, and this is starting state. You get an option to do a clean stop and do a stop, right? And you can directly, this is a new feature that has come up here, right? And uh, I think the clean stop and stop is something to different, something related to the power center. We have a stop and abort option, right? So something similar, I guess, because this is a new feature for every release. For every release in Informatica Cloud, they come up with new enhancements or new fixes. Okay, and they try to bring in the same functionality in Power Center because cloud is growing. Cloud is growing, and all future projects would be in Informatica Cloud. All the Power Center projects which are on premises would be planned to move to cloud probably next 2 years. We don't see Power Center. Power Center may be going off. Fine. So this is completed. The joiner transformation is completed. So I hope all of you understood this. If you have anything, please ask me any questions. Bhavani or okay, Sahiti or Mahesh, any questions? Shiva.
I'm good, Shiva. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Shiva, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Suppose if I want to see the session, I mean, log at the runtime, because in case like if it is running, it says like
Mm.
it's running. So at
Mhm.
runtime, if I want to see the log, so can we see the log there itself, or we have to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
because
You,
I'm
you
new to
can
the
you
loop?
can download the log, session log. We will just see this one more time. For example, I run this mapping task, right? This is in progress. I go to my jobs, and this is in the running status, right? It's queued status.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
has to move on to the running status. Okay, it is
Okay.
now. If I want to download the log, just click on this
Okay.
download log. This is downloading the log, which is actually running right now. It's not completed yet.
Yeah.
I just open this. Okay, you would see this
Okay.
contents here, but this is not done yet. You'll
Yeah.
see all the reader threads, writer threads, everything similar like in Power Center.
Okay. And can we see like, I mean, apart from processed rows, can we see like a number of rows affected, rejected? So that
Yeah, yeah,
information.
that's correct. That's
Okay.
correct. We can see that. Just click on the instance name. You'll see the number of rows here.
Okay.
You mean to
Okay.
say affected, rejected? Those
Yeah. I
details
mean, this
would
is
be
fine.
seen in the
Yeah.
log.
Yeah. Correct.
You,
Yeah.
you,
I
you get
mean,
only
like,
success. Yeah.
yeah. From Power Center, like how we see, like when we open right click and see the run properties. Yeah. Similar
Hmm.
functionality. I want to see like how it.
Not exactly a similar functionality, but here what you would see is you would see the success rows, errors and error messages. And if you want to see the number of rows affected, number of rows requested, applied and all that, you have to open the log. You can't see everything in this, uh,
Oh.
in a single view. You need to open the log. And when you open the log, right, this is similar
Yeah.
what you see in Power Center,
Power Center.
where,
Okay.
you get a prompt of number of rows requested, applied, rejected and affected, right a thread.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. So moving on, now we'll discuss about target properties, right? We'll discuss about target properties where we may have to. I mean, we would do a scenario for a insert and update, right? Insert and update scenario. We'll discuss about that. So what we can do is we just click on new mapping. Uh, I have a scenario. For example, I want to load employees data, like employees data. For example, this is my table. Okay, employees data is having around 24 records. Now I'll just name this mapping as m underscore employees one time load. Okay, one-time load. I'll just give a name like this. Go to my source. Select my connection, which is my SRC INFA connection. Click on select. And go to your employees table. Okay, for someone who has joined, newly, someone who has joined newly, I'll just tell you this because you can preview the data here. I just click on the preview data so that you can see the data of employees table in your source. And again, we are doing a simple, just a mapping about one-time load because we wanted to capture insert update scenario in a later mapping. So I'm just doing an one-time load for now, which is employees data. You get the entire data of the custom of the employee ID, job ID, first name, last name till email. So I'll just have a pass-through expression. The orange icon or the orange symbol that you see here are called clear recommendations. Okay, clear recommendations are the recommendations given, as per what it can be used between a source and target. You can use a expression, filter, router, right? So I'm just using an expression here, just a pass-through expression. I'm not doing anything here. Go to target and you just select the same SRC INFA connection and click on select. And you get an option to create a target at new at runtime. So I'm going to create a new target at runtime. I'll just give the name as TGT underscore employees. It's my target table name. Click on save. No, I don't have to do any field mapping because the field mapping, the fields get automatically mapped because I've taken create new target at runtime. So this is going to be automatically mapped. The fields will get automatically mapped here. I don't have to worry about doing any manual field mapping, or I don't have to see a automatic field mapping here in this scenario. It's because I'm doing a one-time load of the data. Okay, understood? So as a best practice, always, you don't run a mapping alone. You always have to run the mapping configuration task. So click on this dotted lines here. Click on new mapping task. And then you can create a mapping configuration task with the name MCT. MCT stands for mapping configuration task. Okay, so I'll just give the name as MCT underscore one-time load. Select your secure agent. Click on next. Sorry. And click on finish. Okay, so your mapping task is created. So always make sure you close the previous ones just to avoid any confusion. Please close all your previous mappings. Just keep whatever you're working right now and click on run. So what is this mapping doing? It's only doing a simple one-time load, just reading employees data and loading into a target table. I'm not doing much. I'm just doing a simple one-time load. So this is in starting state. It will move on to the queued state, and from queued it will go to running state. This is a status where the job is once it is running, you can click on the instance name to find out the statistics of your source and target. Okay, so this is completed. We got 24 rows loaded to target table. Okay, now let's go back to any questions on this from anyone? It's a simple mapping. We did a simple mapping. I want to just make sure all of you understood this. Okay, I take it as yes, no questions. Now the target table name is what? What was the target table name? Target table name was TGT underscore employees, right? So select star from TGT underscore employees. So I got the data here, right? I got the data here. But again, if you look at this, the state value got truncated. You know, the state value got truncated. So what we can do is, there are two ways. You know, you can either truncate the table, target table here, or you can actually drop the table from, just a delete, not drop, delete your, okay. Before I do that, I'll explain you. You need to go to the source fields and you can click on the state column and there is an option called edit metadata. Click on edit metadata and you can change it to, you can increase the native precision. Okay, and just click on save. And the fields will get auto populated. You know, you don't have to propagate the attributes. The fields will get automatically reflected in the downstream transformations. You don't have to worry about it. So target, now we have an existing target. So I go to target, copy the target name, click on select, because we are running it for the second time, right? And click on existing target, search for the target, select it, click on OK, and select your truncate target option because we want to load it one more time. Okay, we want to load it one more time. You select truncate target option, and then now we have taken the existing target. Now we get an option to do a field mapping. We get field mapping option where we get automatic by default. You know, automatically it detects something. If you want to change it to manual, you need to click on this field map options and select manual. Understood, all of you? Let's say I want to clear all the mapping. How can I do it? I just have to click on manual. Everything will go off. Now there is an option here in the in this drop down choice where you get smart map and exact field name. For example, if I choose smart map, you know, this would avoid you to do it one by one. Okay, or else you want to do one by one, you have to drag and drop it here, right? Let's say you have done it mistakenly, you want to unmap it. Click on unmap. Click on unmap. Okay, you have an option to unmap. You want to do a smart map, click on smart map. Automatically the fields will get smartly mapped based on the names. This is clear to everyone? Understood? And just click on save. Any questions from anyone on this?
Yeah, Shiva. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Power
Yeah, go on.
Center we have option like auto link by name, auto link by position, like that option is there. Now, is
Correct.
it considered as like auto link by name, or it's like auto
Yeah.
link by position? It will be like based on the position they are getting mapped, or based on the names they are getting mapped.
So based on the names, you know, there are two options called exact field name and smart map. You know, we don't have the other options what you have in Power Center. Okay, we only have manual, we have an automatic, and you know, we have completely parameterized and partially parameterized, which we'll discuss later about parameterization. But now, when we discuss about mapping, by default you get automatic. You know, when I go to field mapping, automatically the fields got mapped. You don't have to worry about mapping at all, right? Only if you have a specific requirement where you have some output fields and you want to map it them, then you choose a manual option so that you know you want to clear something. For example, you want to clear everything. Just click on the three dots here and click on clear mapping. Let's say you done it by mistake. Okay, you don't want to map some field to this target field. You get an option called clear mapping, and again you want to do something exact field name. There are two options here: exact field name and smart map. So this is taking the exact name pattern and it is fielding, like it is doing a auto map. So auto map in the sense like manual map. Sorry, auto map is automatically it goes. Okay, you have a field map options here. Okay, you will eventually understand, you know, once you practice a lot, you know. But sometimes you may find a little uh, tedious things, when you have to do manually, if you have some changes, again, you may have to unmap this and do it. You can't see it outside, you have to get into the target to see this. But in Power Center, you can see the links outside as well, right? That's a difference here in IICS. Okay. So this one-time load, the purpose of doing my one-time load is I want to load my data. So I go to my mapping task, click on run again, and you'll see that, in the monitor screen, you can see that in the running jobs, you'll see that there will be one more instance -2 starting. This will start and go to queued status, and then it will go to running status. Now it is gone to running status, and you just keep on clicking on this refresh icon, the refresh thing here, and it'll complete, and it'll give you the rows processed, 24 rows are processed. Okay, understood? Now let's come to a scenario. For example, I go to my employees data, go to my data, and I have an insert and update scenario, right? So for example, this 21899, right? I want to update some values. Okay, I want to update my address values. Let's say, I just copy this entire row. Okay, this is marked for update. And I go to the last. Okay, I just click on this plus, and I'll add some random values. Okay, and this one I'm actually updating it to 633 marked for update. I'm just updating only the address one value. Okay, click on commit. So I'm just mocking up the data for an insert and update scenario. Okay, right? The commit is successful. We got the commit success, right? And now I'll go back to my mapping. Go to data integration. Now I go to my explore page. I'll close this mapping task and this mapping also. Go to my explore page, go to my folder, my project and folder. Now I want to create a copy of this. Okay, I want to create a copy. Just select this box, click on select it, and click on copy to. Click on training, select, keep both. Okay, so I just made a copy of that mapping. Now I click on that mapping name, and I'll just rename this to Oracle Employees Load Insert Update. Okay, just a scenario for insert update. Let's save this so that I get the new mapping name. Now let's say I want to drag, this is my source, right? This is my source. Again, the source is the same. Employees table is my source. Now, let's say I want to drag, I want to make copy of this source. Just select this source, copy it and paste it. You get one more source. And this is my, I'll just rename to source underscore employees so that you know that this is your employees source. And this second source is actually your target. The second source is going to be your target. So the reason why I'm taking my target as source is I want to join that, right? TGT underscore employees. TGT underscore employees as my second source, which is nothing but my source TGT employees, and so that I know that okay, this is my target as source what I'm taking. So now what I have to do, I need to call for a joiner transformation. So I drag and drop my joiner, remove the links here. You just select this and just click on delete so that the link gets broken. And my master and detail. So my target is having how many rows? It's having 24 rows, whereas my source is having how many rows? It's having 25 rows. Okay, so lesser number of rows is always your master, correct? So target is your master and your source is your detail. Okay, got it. And I just join this, remove the link for target. So in the joiner transformation, what I'm going to do is I'll go to my join condition and make it full outer. Okay, important thing is you get a field name conflict here, right? The reason why we got a field name conflicts are there are fields coming from two different sources. Okay, there are fields coming from two different sources. So with the same name. So what you need to do, you have to do a field name. You need to resolve a field name conflict. So how do you resolve it? Click on the field, resolve field name conflicts. And for source employees, you can just give a prefix as, let's say, again, you have an src underscore employees, but just to make sure this is your source again, you can give a prefix as src underscore again, so that src underscore gets appended one more time as src underscore, right? You see this src underscore has come here. Okay, this got appended with the field names as src and the field name conflicts have been resolved. All of you understood this? And you go to your join condition and select full outer join condition because I need all the rows. I save this. And now what we will use is we'll use a router transformation. Okay, we'll use a router transformation and take it to router. And in the router, we have output groups with the default group, and you can add the group. Just rename the group as one for insert and click on save. If you don't click on save, it again, it would just come back with new group, and click on one more group for update. Click on save. Okay, so now we need to configure a condition. Click on the configure condition, and there are two things here, a simple condition and advanced filter condition. So we'll go for advanced filter condition and click on define filter condition. You get this window open, and my inserts scenario is a simple insert scenario where I'm doing is null of my employee ID, which means that if my employee ID is null, I'm asking to insert the data into my target. It's simple. It's simple insert condition. So again, you see that sometimes this may not be in a sync. Like you gave update, but again it is still showing us a new group. Okay, so you have to go back, change it to update again. Just click somewhere outside or click on configure, go to advanced condition, uh, define filter condition again. Now for an update scenario, what we are going to check is employee ID equal to your source employee ID. Okay, and you also check your address. Address is not equal to your source address one. Then it is an update scenario. So what I'm checking my employee ID should be equal to my source employee ID coming from a source because I'm checking the target employee ID here. And also the address is not equal to source address, then it should update. All of you understood this? A simple thing, I'm doing a router condition here. Is that clear? Okay. Now I need to have two targets, right? So I just drag one target here. Okay, I can drag one more target here. I think we had a target. Okay, that's okay. We'll just remove this. So the first target for insert will go to this insert target. Update will go to this update target. And we have to configure the target. So mapping won't be valid, till the time your target is not defined. See again, joiner, there's something it says the join condition is not specified. You get a prompt, if you have not done it rightly, and there is some issue with your mapping, you get a validation error in the validation panel. Okay, so you go to your joiner transformation, and the join condition, we have to give a condition called item employee ID is equal to the source employee ID. This is your join condition. Click on save. The moment I gave the join condition, this will go off. The joiner validation will go off, but still you're getting target and target 2. So what is the first target? You just name it as target employees insert. So the first one, and the second one, target employees update. Okay, one mark for insert, one mark for update. Okay, now here is the important thing. We need to go to insert target. This is a simple, straightforward insert actually. So just select your connection again, go to select, and pick up your existing target with TGT underscore employees. Just search for this name. Okay, just search with this name. This is a simple insert scenario. Just save this. Now go to field mapping. The field mapping, you get manual here, right? So why did we get manual? Because there were other fields that were detected, with SRC. So we need to map only the SRC one. So here, where it takes a tedious thing, where you may have to map things manually. For example, I have to do this because I can't do a smart map. If I do a smart map, I get only the target fields here, right? So I need to map those things manually. Okay, just save this. Make sure you keep saving your work, because if you don't save it, you may have to, if you have some internet issue, you may lose your work. So keep saving your work as and when you progress. Now let's go to the update target and select the same connection again. Click on select. Search for the target table name. Click on OK. And now we get an option called update or upsert or delete or data driven. Now this is where the difference is. In Power Center, you have a update strategy transformation, but in cloud, we do not have an update strategy transformation. Everything is defined at a target level. All of you understood this, right? Understand? There is no update strategy transformation. So we have everything at the target itself. And you can select the operation as update and click on add. And you need to select based on what column that you want to update. I want to update based on employee ID. It's not the case that the columns that I am updating should be taken as update columns. Based on my employee ID, I'm updating the address value. Got it? So I'm taking the update columns as employee ID. Okay. And go to field mapping. And again, you get the same things here, employee ID and everything. Here, same thing what you do, map your source.
Sure. I have a
concept.
doubt
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
For example, if you have source and target in the column fields are different names, so we can't able
Hmm.
to do the auto mapping.
No, you can't do this because auto mapping is going to detect only on the exact field names, employee ID, job
Okay.
ID. It's automatically mapping. Okay, you
So
also
field
get
names are same means then only we can do the auto mapping. The field names are
correct,
different means
exactly.
so we can't able. Right?
Yeah, you can't do it. See, automatically this has changed to manual. The moment I went to the field mapping. See, previously, if you remember, there was automatic. It was automatic
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
the fields. It is a AI driven things. Where it automatically detects things. Okay, this tool. They developed that way where it is automatically detecting. Okay, I only have employee ID to email. So automatically you see that this is option was there in the beginning. But now when I went to the field mapping, I get manual because there were other fields with src underscore. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
so that
sure.
that could be the reason.
Yeah, thank you, sure.
Yeah. So I mean, we can do multiple things. I'm just wanted to tell you about router transformation. See, router is like as you all know, if you are coming from this power center background, right? What does it do? It is splitting your data on multiple conditions. It does some more functionality better than a filter condition where it's not discarding the other rows. That doesn't meet the criteria. Router is what it is doing is it is actually dividing your data based on the conditions that you specify into different groups. Like it's a IF condition now, right? So this is a simple insert update scenario. So what do we expect from this scenario is one insert and one update, right? So we just had a simple joiner transformation with full outer, and we take a router. We gave some groups.
Shiva,
Okay.
to detect the changes, we are using source as a source lookup and target, right? Do we have
Yeah.
lookup transformations here? Or?
Yeah. We also have lookup transformation, but I'm just taking a joiner route,
Okay,
right?
okay,
Joiner. I wanted to explain about a joiner. We can also take a lookup, and we can do the same thing.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but I'll cover the lookup transformation extensively later. But that's the reason I wanted to just discuss about joiner here. Okay, so let's create a mapping task. Click on new mapping task. So please understand the entire functionality is derived from Power Center. It's only the case that you just need to know how to do this and how you achieve things in IICS in different ways, and you need to provide the different parameters. Click on next and click on finish. Okay, so your mapping task is configured now. You're good to run. Click on run. So remember, we marked one row for update and one row for insert, right? What was the row that we marked for insert? I think the last one, right? This was marked for insert. Okay, let's go back to this monitor screen. Okay, it is running right now. Okay, there is an error here. Okay, what was the error? Okay, unique constraint violated. Okay, just a minute. I might have done some mistake. 21899. Okay, 21899. Okay, let's see the log. Okay, we got a unique constraint violation because of the reason where, it could be something to do with the customer employee ID, employee ID. So we had a update scenario and we had a insert scenario, right? So
I think we need to put not null condition on
just a minute. Okay, let's do it one more time. Okay, we'll take some other row. Okay, and just change this. Okay, and add one more row. Just want to make sure some unique values are there. That's okay. Okay, just click on commit. Okay, we have some null values in the address to column, right? So what we can do is we can actually go back to the mapping, right? And we will we'll also have, right? We can also do a filter of. Let's have a filter close to the source itself, or after the joiner transformation, we can have this filter. So you can put a, if you just click on this three dots here, right? You get the list of transformations. You can drag it from the palette or you can just put it here. In the filter transformation, go to filter, click on the advanced filter, define filter condition. And for example, I want to filter out null values. If is null of address to is false, comma true, so that it would filter out the null values, right? Click on save, then take it to router. I think even I can put it in the router, that's okay, but just click on validate, go to your mapping task, and let's run this. Click on run, go to my jobs. So even if you get a failed status, right, you get a error here saying, okay, unique constraint violation or some database related issue or whatever it may be the case, you get, okay, you got a failure again. Yes, let's check this. Okay, there is a problem with this 21899. What did we do for insert? One minute.
So Shiva, 2189 is the employee ID which is already existing, right? So we are trying to insert the same record again.
No. Actually, I'm trying to mark it for update, not inserting. I'm marking it for update, but I don't know why it is saying some,
So I think we only need to connect employee ID and address to fields to update. Right? If we connect complete source columns again, it will do it.
No, actually, and, I'll do one thing. I'll just delete this row. Okay, we'll run it one more time. Let's check this, because we had a insert scenario and we also had some update scenario for 2133. Okay, I mean, I'm just checking it one more time. We'll just come back and see it again. Click on run. Because see, if it is null, the condition that I gave in my router was if it is null, right? If employee ID is null, then it should insert, which means that this is this employee is null, then it is supposed to insert. Okay, some mistake I'm doing somewhere. What happened?
So in the
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah,
in the joiner, do we need to perform full outer join or left outer join? I mean, kind of waiting for this operation.
I think full outer is what
Yeah.
what we have done, because we want to take all the rows, right,
Yeah.
with the join conditions,
Mm.
and that's how taken. Okay, just a minute. I'll have to fix something here. Why did we get this? We deleted that row, right? Not commit this or what?
Yeah. I mean, in the for insert condition, we have to use both the condition as source as well as target.
Hmm.
Because full outer join, so it will give like all the records, like matching and non-matching records. So it is trying to insert that record because from the source side it is I mean, it is found, but from target side it is not found.
Yeah,
So it's like full
I'm just
outer
comparing
join.
it here. No, the target side we have this row, but this row is only marked for update, right? This address one is marked for update. Say the scenario what I had was one row marked for insert, one row marked for update. So this this is my okay, maybe I did something wrong, or this is not committed, I guess. Just a minute, I'll refresh the pages. Got 26 rows from this one, but again I had 25 here. Okay, I get 26 again. Okay. So we did not do this anything, right? This entire thing, right? This entire thing is where you have this row coming from your source table, and your target table is also having the same amount, same thing. We are not touching this. Go to employees. Something went wrong. Actually, it should have been worked. Okay, we got 26 rows here, and how many rows we have in target? We have 24 rows in target. This is marked for update. Okay, something went wrong, with my data that I have inserted. So what I'll do is I'll have to redo it one more time. Sometimes, your source and target are not in sync, right? So what you can do is you can select your table again so that, you get the data back again. Because you remember what I did was I copied an existing mapping and I'm trying to do an insert update. But sometimes, you know, in IICS, you may have an issue with the sync data. The data was not in sync. So you may have some issues with the data that you're trying to mark for insert or update. So let's do it one more time. Let's select the appropriate tables and the data. And we can preview the data. We can actually preview the data and see the conditions again. So go to my employees data, go to source, click on preview data. Okay, so this data is, you know, this one, right? This is not marked for update now. This is already existing in my target also. I think, you know, how do I know it? I can just verify my target again. Target table. I think this time it should work because it was not syncing up the data. It may be a reason. Okay, this is not marked for update. 2133. This one is 636, right? This one 100. Okay, 2133 marked for update. And we also have a scenario where we want to insert. Okay, let's run it now. Let me close this mapping task and open it here again. You get updates available. Just click on updates available and you'll see the running status. Oh, something went wrong. But why is this checking for this insert scenario? I'm not trying to insert. This is taking on a condition called okay, just a minute. We did it. I think I did a mistake here. One moment. Yeah, I got it here. Let's do this smart map. This is marked for employee ID, right? Okay.
Shiva, in IICS, do we have debugger?
Uh, debugger in the sense like, you know, we get an option to preview the data here. You know, we don't get a debugger. For example, I want to look at the joiner here. I just click on run preview. I get my, you know, number of rows that I want to preview and just click on run preview. There is nothing like, you know, you have a sequence of debugger. but you can just generate a preview here. You can just click on generate preview, and it is going to generate a preview here, and you will be able to see the data at a transformation level, like channel level or router level. You can just click on the run preview. Some error, it is coming up with some error. Actually, okay, let's not waste time here. I'll tell you about this at a later point of time. So I'll discuss about it tomorrow. I think there is some mistake I might have done where it is not properly inserting the right values. Okay, I'll check it later. So any questions on this interface or anything that we have covered so far? I mean, on the transformations or on this, how to navigate through this. As I told you, right, administrator, you have to make sure the runtime environments are up and running, and also you need to make sure go to connections, and you create your connections before you start your work. Okay, we'll discuss about this and insert update again. Okay, let's not waste time. I mean, the joiner transformation is covered, so we'll discuss about lookup and other transformations in tomorrow's class. Anyone is having any questions?
Yeah, Shiva, like how many sessions got completed so far? Because today is my first session, so I am finding difficulty in understanding about
Okay,
Uh,
okay, yeah. I'll just show you the the contents here. See the contents. What we had was so we only discussed about IICS as a solution. We discussed about architecture. Uh, we discussed about runtime environments and how to navigate through different logs, connection types, and everything. And we discussed about different transformations like filter, expression, filter, and source properties. We discussed about source properties. So if you want to just go through that, I would recommend you to go through the videos. Because we covered the pre-SQL and post-SQL commands, right,
okay,
in the source, and also I explained clearly about the architecture in my first session. I think today is the fourth day, right? The fourth
okay,
day, yeah, we discussed about everything. So you can go through the recordings. Organizers would be able to send you the recordings.
okay, yeah,
You can go through the recordings, and that is going to help you to understand how to set up a free trial account and how to get started. And I've also shared some files through Google Drive, where I have a set of files, because I have a huge set of files which I would be using in my training. In my
okay,
training folder, I have files with CSV files, TXT files, and I have JSON XML files, which we would be using it in our training. So I have bash scripts also, which we executed the bash scripts in our sessions. You can go through the previous recordings. You're Vijay,
okay,
right?
yeah, yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. So we'll
And
discuss about
regarding,
update
yeah,
insert again tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me, you're saying something?
yeah, free trial means is it like for certain period only it will be available
Yeah, for
or
30 days. For 30 days. Okay.
okay,
Just go to Google and just type Informatica
yeah,
Cloud Data Integration free trial. Okay. Just
okay,
type this, and you get this window, which is go to Informatica site, informatica.com, the free 30-day trial. Click
okay,
on Cloud Data Integration, right? And you
yeah,
need to provide your your name, your first name, last name.
yeah,
Okay,
okay,
just
yeah, yeah,
give something like visual.
yeah. I went, yeah, this video I went through YouTube video. I think
Yeah,
same as the
you
one.
get an option to use your email address as a username, or you can specify the username by yourself. But your mail ID is important. If you
Okay,
specify a mail ID, you would get a mail trigger to the mail ID to activate your account. And you can give
okay,
any random phone number, organization, freelancing, something, whatever you want to put. and just give your country and the state, right? And just provide your data center as North America or Asia Pacific or Europe. But generally speaking, North America, you just leave it North America. That is fine. And depending
Okay.
on the region that you sign up, we get a URL. This is called pod, which is US W5. This is a base URL, dm-us informaticacloud.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you enroll, you need to go to runtime environments, and you would see this Informatica Cloud hosted agent. By default, it will come. Then you have to click on download secure agent, select your Windows platform, copy the install token, and just follow the steps given. I
Okay.
have given the the Google Drive links actually. If you want, I can just give it to you here so that it would have the steps how to
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
download them. Okay, you can just follow the steps here, because generally I upload everything in my Drive location, and I just share that link to my students so that they can just follow the steps given in the notepad.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a link actually. So what is this document talking about is that's actually giving you the okay. These are different steps. When you install the services. I think I have one more secure installation steps. Yeah, this is a one. Just in case if your services are not coming up, these are the steps given here. How to get everything. Okay, I can give you this link.
Yeah.
You can just follow this link, and you can follow the steps. And there are practice files. I have the schema files. I have a lot of files here which I can share it to you.
Okay.
Going on, further in the training.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so that's it for today, and we'll meet up again tomorrow, and we'll discuss on the further topics. Okay. Please go through the previous recordings. If you have missed out anything, you can catch up with that. Thank you all.